Okay, next up for mini readings is KR. She had a couple kind words about my work, which I appreciate. Thank you. And she asked some questions about astrology as far as or she put it in the context of her chart, and we have some stuff in common in terms of the condition of our moon, so I can relate very much. KR, these are issues that I'm familiar with, but I will be glad to pull a card for you and see what we can come up with. Okay, let's see. Help with Saturn for KR. Okay, we've got Temperance. All right. One of the things with Saturn and Pisces, which is one of the placements that you talked about, and it's a placement that I have, so I'm really familiar with. One of the special challenges of that I found is that it's all or nothing. You know, either, okay, you have to have it and it's clear and defined and perfect boundaries, or it's just disappeared. I mean, it's either, if you have any kind of concerns, and if this interacts with your moon, then you're going to have some emotional connection to it, possibly to your mother, family kind of stuff too. But the thing with Saturn in Pisces, and the thing with the kind of chart connection that Kara talked about, was trying to think of how to put it well. It's like either you see any kind of conflict, any kind of restriction, any kind of issue as a major, huge, tremendous, insurmountable problem, or it doesn't exist. With Temperance, what I would want you to do is look for a way to combine, and not just like straight out compromise. Compromise is helpful. Compromise is often necessary. But you need to be able to you need the feelings, the approach, whatever it is that you're working on. The Saturn side and the emotional side have to be able, the Pisces side or the moon side or whatever, have to be able to coexist. Okay? That means recognizing limitations, for sure, but also not killing yourself over it, okay? Any kind of Saturn-Moon contact, sometimes you're going to feel like you suck. That sort of goes along with it. But what you do is you look to grow. The places, either in your family relationships or in your own emotional well-being, your own emotional space where you feel uncomfortable, the idea is to say, okay, I'm not entirely happy with this. Maybe I have some limitations in this area. Maybe I have some fears in this area. And instead of willing them away, with a harsh taskmaster kind of approach, I recommend the what would you say to a friend kind of thing. What would you say to somebody you really and truly loved and cared about who is undergoing similar things? Because there are both, I'm trying to think how to put this. There are ways where that energy is very expansive and also very contracting, and you need to put them both together. Yes, it is kind of like mixing fire and water, but if there's a deity, spirit, something that you call upon for help with that, do that. And the other thing I would say is, if you feel like you're getting pulled too far one way or too far the other, or something starts feeling like it's a tragedy or it's horrible, or if the emotion is like way more torqued up than you would expect, look at that as a sign, pull back and observe. You have a Gemini moon, so you can intellectualize stuff, and also how you think about things is going to make a really big deal in terms of how you feel about things. So the lessons, to get back to your question, sometime this year. The lessons that you asked about, what is it that you need to learn about Saturn? It's temperance. You need to be able to control, to moderate responses, to mix different kinds of emotions, feelings, stimuli, needs. It's to have things in the proper balance and the proper perspective. And that, you know, you can use your Saturn energy actually to do that by not letting Saturn be an SOB and say, oh, well, you know, I suck and this sucks and that sucks and blah, 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 because that's not constructive. But what you can do is say, okay, I see where I could improve this way or that way. How can I go about doing it? You know, how can I go about improving my emotional life? How can I go about improving my family relationships? What would I like? And the goal here isn't to, okay, I'll give in or I give everybody else exactly what they want. The goal is to integrate, to take what you need and take what somebody else needs, take what you want, take what somebody else wants, and find that perfect mix of what works for you and what works for them. If it's not good for everybody here, then it's not good for anybody. Okay? Hope that helps, and good luck to you. Peace out.